volume to calibrate with.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let me make sure that I actually have what I need for this upcoming chapter written down. I do. However, I wrote so fast, I probably won't be able to read it.
That sounds like a problem.
Yeah,
A very big one.
No, I'm actually good. Hold on a second. Yep, I'm good.
Gotta recover dice.
Did you buy yourself another set today, Mike?
Yep.
You didn't send a picture? The hell's wrong with you?
I haven't had the opportunity after talking to you guys.
I think everyone should only send photos of their dice to Darren. And just absolutely blow up his phone.
Should I just take a picture of each of them individually?
Yes.
Yes, but you should also do it like a flat Stanley thing, so you just take them to like different areas. Here are my dice at a bar. Here's my dice at the library.
Well, I mean, even if I just sent him pictures of my dice, it would still be like 35 pictures.
Yep.
There.
Why stop there?
You happy now?
All right. So, last we left off, David made his way over to Barovia, but has done nothing of import.
Betty, not for you.
Those are pretty cool, Mike.
Well, thank you, sir.
I suppose right now I should stop watching Netflix if I'm going to be running this game.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dad, are you getting signed into Roll20?
Whistling.
Yeah, I need to not do that. All right, so we are at the Burjo Masters Meeting.
We're just waiting on everybody to get ready.
That's why it's so creamy when I put the creamer in. Sorry.
Wonder when April's gonna be home.
Never.
Is she hanging out with her friends in your apartment complex?
Yeah, she went frickin' yard sailing.
Man, you guys have a lot of fucking kids in your apartment complex.
Yep.
Watching the video that April posted of Caden riding his bike.
Yep.
Now, are they friends or just other people with kids? Kids are friends, and you just tolerate each other.
I'm gonna go with option B for me personally.
Yeah.
April, on the other hand.
All right. Is everybody ready?
I think I'm.
Ready enough.
All
I'm
right.
gonna be.
All right.
Dad, are you signed into Roll20 yet? I don't see you in the game.
No, I'm doing alright.
Okay.
All right. So, last time on Dungeons and Dragons Z, the party got out of the hyperbaric time chamber. Last time the party tied up some loose opera and found that the Bloody Hunt and the Zentarum, both organizations that they are members of, are working together for preserving the power balance in the city. They understood that Strahd has tried to gain the city and is sending a incursion party to, as the Bloody Hunt wishes, take the head of Strahd and then, sell that for money. The party sat there, agreed to it, through use of an annoying bard, who may or may not be gnomish and really believes his shit don't stink. Were able to enter the realms of Barovia on the eastern end, found the village of Barovia proper, and was able to find the son of the burgomaster. The burgomaster sat there and said that Strahd currently is displayed interest in his sister, who also has been bitten by Strahd. They go over to the burgomaster's mansion, find that all the windows have been blown out in the multiple-story house. They find that it looks like it had been under siege by wolves, and that the burgomaster, between the last few days, had died. And is in a cheap pine box made by the kids. They decided to go upstairs, sleep on it, and figure out what they're going to do to help Ismark protect Irina and dealing with the dead body in the living room. Which, if you don't see the irony of that, I feel sorry for you.
Still say we should stake it.
And we return to the world of Barovia with most of our party in tow. Finn apparently still disinterested in everything right now, and Berlynn taking the incredibly arduous task of clipping his toenails. Very hard to do when you only have crossbow bolts.
All right.
So we are finishing our long rest then? Is that what,
Yep.
Is that what we are?
You guys have woken up. As you look out the slits in the boarded up windows, you notice that what the time associates with sunrise and what sunrise actually looks like isn't too different than what sundown looks like or noon looks like. It's basically all various shades of low light.
Okay.
My kind of place.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody drinks blood. Very little light. Yeah, go ahead and roll roll perception. Leovan.
2 plus, where's my perception? 6, 8.
Yeah, you look around, it's like, man, what if I became the king of this place?
All right, so I guess we kind of have a decision to make, guys. We've got a couple things that we've been given as potential things for us to do. Obviously, we can help the Kolyanvich family by talking to the priest who has barred the church and prevented him from being buried. Or there's also that weird whaling house in town,
Mm-hmm.
and then also the obviously the sort of overarching quest of escorting Irina away from Castle Ravenloft and towards Vallaki.
I think we should deal with the dead body.
I want to go to the brothel.
Brothel.
Yeah,
Is there one of those here?
yeah, the whaling house.
Oh, that was a brothel?
Is now. Now.
You know, I know I'm supposed to be yes-anding all this kind of stuff, but the book does determine what is actually in there.
Hey, if I can give a creature money for coitus, it's a brothel.
You can certainly try.
I think we should take care of the body.
Yeah, let's go bury a corpse.
All right.
What do you think, Hagrid?
Or burn it.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm assuming now that you guys are gonna head back to the main floor and talk to Irina and Ismark.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Irina still appears to have slept in the armor from last night. Ismark changed out of his clothes. It looks like he rotates between 3 sets of clothes because all that remained. Yeah, I mean, the only person that looks to be dressed in actual fine clothes is the Burgomaster's corpse. At this point, Ismark comes up to you guys in a ceramic glass. It looks like there's just a really poorly brewed tea. It looks like supplies are running low in the building. As you see into each window, there's little chunks taken out of boards here and there. It looks like throughout the night there was a continued assault there. But from what you saw beforehand versus the difference now, it doesn't seem to be as bad or as aggressive. Ismark comes up again and just sits there and goes like, "So, have you been able to think about helping us at all?"
What attacked this place last night?
Lycanthropes. There's a series of werewolves that have fallen in allegiance with Strahd, and when we weren't paying for protection, this is what they sent for us.
So how did Strahd get lycanthropes on his side? I thought they didn't get along.
The lycanthropes understand power, and they understand Strahd's power. And if he desired, they would be wiped from the face of the planet, just if you asked the Order of the Silver Dragon. There's obey, or there is die in Barovia.
We seem to be falling on the wrong side of that.
Sounds like we could solve all of these problems if you guys just surrender.
Like, Ismark puts his finger up, trying to come up with a retort. He sits there and goes like, "Nah, I'm not convincing this guy," and just decides to move on.
Is Irina in the room?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Irina, it's we've come upon knowledge that you have been bit by a vampire. Is this correct?
This is true, yes.
So why are you not actively trying to eat us?
Because it's a game that he's playing. He's interested in me as a person. If he turns me into a thrall, I lose exactly what interests him. This is a game that he's playing for his own amusement. Unfortunately, if he continues on for this, my ability to fight the curses associated with the bite become weaker and weaker. So all we can do now is remember not to invite vampires into the building, and to guard ourselves as best we can. Sometimes all we can do is just head inside and accept no strangers.
So you're trying to say that you're not a danger to us or Ismark, despite the fact that you've been bitten by a vampire?
That is correct.
Doesn't the have to go both ways? Or how does turning someone into a vampire work here?
Don't you have to be bitten multiple times for it to take?
I thought it's like you bite me, I bite you.
What I sit there and tell you, and all that I know here is sleep at night. Sometimes I have dreams where I can see where Strahd is, and it almost feels as if it's not quite a dream. It feels real at times. I see him move, I see him interact. I can only imagine that he has the same ability to see into my world as well. It's almost like it's a telepathic bond.
That could be useful.
Yeah.
It can also be dangerous.
True. Yeah, that's going to cause problems when we try to move you.
Well, we'll have to go somewhere that's defensible. Vallaki is a walled city.
Right. But it's going to cause problems just in general if he knows that we are here, and that if he can, visit in on any of these conversations, then he knows then that what we're planning.
Ismark at this time points up a finger and just goes, "He already knows you're here. He would not have invited you into his realm if he didn't."
Annoying Bard is Strahd. Let's go kill Annoying Bard.
I'm pretty sure his name was Rick Sanchez.
Kill Rick Sanchez. Got it.
Kill Rick Sanchez. All right. Well, we'd like to kind of do some work here and get our teeth wet on the ins and outs of Barovia. So we'd like to lend you a hand and bring your father's body to the church and convince the priest to allow us to give him a proper funeral.
That happens. So for the sake of brevity, you guys as a team are able to pick up the pine box. You have sort of steel rods that you put underneath the pine box so that everyone has a handle and can carry. We don't need to make strength checks because it's pretty easy when there is 4, 5, 6 of you doing it. As you walk through, once again, still in the village of Barovia map, heading through E4, going up the main road up to E5.
Oh yeah, I forgot I need to have those open.
Yep. So you're heading from the southernmost portion of the town to the northwesternmost portion of the town. And as you cross through the road, once again, you hear the moaning sob through the streets as you pass by the townhouse that Toni believes apparently is a brothel. As you get through there, you pass by the Blood of the Vine Tavern, you pass through the general store, continue on maybe another 5 minutes since you guys are all trying to carry a slightly overweight corpse. You eventually get to the doors, or to the envision of the church, and atop this, I wish I can speak English. Atop a slight rise against the roots of a pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenhall stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back, and a flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. And then the heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks, scarred by fire, in what appears to be similar marks to what happened at the Burgomaster's Bench.
Is it pretty open where we're at the front of this?
I mean, there's.
You have to worry about ambush.
Yeah, to the left and right of you, it's a pretty open, sort of like fallow field. It looks like when this place was more occupied, there was a lot more agriculture in the area that surrounded the church itself, but now it just seems like fallow field. You have clear vision on this with it being in morning. You guys are. I would sit there and say you're pretty easily aware of what's around you.
For those of you guys who are like me and didn't save those images or the links last time, I posted a link to the map for the village of Barovia in the Skype chat again.
Nope, I saved it.
Yeah, I saved it too.
All right, so we should probably knock on the door. You know, I'm a gnome carrying a corpse. This is not my, cup of tea.
Just because you have a raging heart on doesn't mean you can't help us.
Yeah, but we made it to the door. We might as well go try bury this guy. Let's talk to the priest.
Well, I thought we were getting to that.
I thought we made it to the door. Where are we at,
Yeah,
Jay?
You're right about 15 feet away from the door.
Okay.
All right, let's go up and try and talk to the priest, get his attention, knock on the door, or whatever we need to do.
All right. As you guys go, as you begin to knock, who's going to be the one? Who's the one who knocks?
The charismatic lion guy.
Okay, I guess I'll knock.
All right. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Okay. That is a 6.
A 6. As you knock, the first time you go through, it doesn't even register a sound. You sit there, goes like, that's not knocking at all. And you sit there, you wind back a little bit, and it's less of a knock and more of a punch. And the door just immediately gives in, goes by and you can see into the in-swinging door of the chapel, which once again looks weird because who builds in-swinging doors at a entrance of a building? But the door is open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a very well-lit chapel. The hall, by natural light, the hall is unlit. There's a lot of smells of mold and mildew. There's 4 doors, 2 on each side, to the left, to the right of you, that lead to smaller chambers. In the center of the chapel, it's strewn with debris. Altar that's been broken down. It looks like that a body had been slammed into it. The pews everywhere are in absolute disarray. And towards the corner of the main chapel is a soft voice reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from what appears to be beneath the wooden floor.
The fuck?
Wow.
I
say that out loud. The fuck?
It is a absolute blood curdling scream. Where you hear a sound, it's like nails on a chalkboard kind of thing, and then you get goosebumps just because of how much you hate that sound.
Let's go talk to the... Well, let's carry the casket inside first off.
Okay.
Maybe we should see what just screamed.
It's under the floor. We'll be fine.
Yeah, you
We
have
should-
high ground.
We should go. We should go ask who that person who's doing the prayer what that noise was. I want to know what the hell that was.
That was a scream.
Which could mean trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're just in the wrong building.
All right, so what do you guys want to do? Set down the body, talk to the guy, or go chaotic stupidly straight towards the blood-curdling noise?
I would like to set down the body and then go talk to the guy.
Yes,
All right.
I agree with it.
I would like to go chase the sound, unless these guys can convince me otherwise.
Let's live, and before we go running headlong into the basement of whatever the fuck that thing was, let's try to find out maybe from the priest what we're dealing with, and we can try to make a better decision from there.
Yeah.
Plus, its
So-
blood might not even be that tasty.
Hey,
We don't know what it is.
we should probably find out what this dude is a priest of first by talking to what's her name who's with us.
Yeah, I mean, Ismark and Irina did follow you guys.
Oh.
Okay, sure, yeah. Why don't you ask then, Tony?
Hey, Ismark Irina, who does this priest, who is his deity of choice?
Well, this was a chapel for the Morning Lord. It was one of the two gods that watched over our plane, and
Oh, that's right.
unfortunately, it appears that they have forsaken us in the last few hundred years, and coinciding the time that they allowed Strahd to take the power, it seems that we had lost favor with them.
So, safe to say your gods have abandoned you.
I don't know if it's abandonment. I don't know if they no longer have access due to Strahd's power. If you actually understand what the gods are about, I can't really help you out there.
Next question. Is the dude over there the priest, or is he some asshole we need to kill?
He is the priest. His name is Donovich. He has been the priest here his entire life. Our entire lives.
I would like to scream something towards the priest, relatively sounding like a expletive, not his actual name.
The priest. Go ahead and roll a performance check.
Give me one quick second. 18.
He picks up his head, he turns around, and he sits there and goes, "The gods may have forsaken this place, but I have not. You will watch your mouth."
What did I say? I want to know what I said.
At this point, he just has really no interest in continuing that conversation. He does stand up, turn around, and looks at the party and just goes, "I told you, I cannot bury your father here."
I look
Okay,
very
well, I
befuddled.
for one have two questions.
Mhm.
I have two questions. No real order here, but definitely first and foremost, what the hell is in the basement?
In the basement is my son, Doru, or rather it used to be.
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
He was for entertainment of Strahd. He was bitten and converted. And we decided to stow him down where we were checking to see if eventually the conversion would pass, but he's just become more starved, more hungry, more of an animal.
So you have a dying vampire in the basement, is what you're telling me.
Certainly isn't dying, but at times it seems that way.
Okay, so you can keep this abomination in the basement, but we can't bury this corpse. Why is that?
For the same reason that my son is down there, this land is cursed. No soul can rest here.
Okay, what if I told you that it was a health concern to have people rotting in your living room?
It's a health concern to live in a land full of vampires, to live in places where werewolves come in and ask for protection money that we don't have. It is a dangerous world in which witches steal children and turn them into pie. And you're trying to tell me that corpses that aren't moving is my biggest problem.
Pie.
Can someone please shut him up?
Well, if it's not a big problem to you, then I'm just going to go bury it in the cemetery.
You can certainly do that out back, yes. But actually, cleric, if your god hasn't forsaken you, can you please do something in trying to help my son?
The slightest idea what that might be, but I will certainly check things out.
One thing I'd have to consider is this conversion is a curse. Clerics, back when our world had clerics, were very good at stemming the tide of Strahd, and unfortunately when that threat was obliterated to him. He quickly gained influence with completely unchecked. I would imagine that you being here is enough to change the balance a little bit.
Well, I've never tried to remove a curse, but I can certainly make an attempt.
And if you fail, my son is exactly the same way he was, and if you succeed, maybe we can use the church for protection again.
Not to belie any faith in our dear cleric. I have every confidence in him. However, if we are unable to, or if he is unable to lift the curse, is ending your son's misery out of the cards?
He begins to look at you. His eyes just narrow. Instead of a sadness, you see a determination, and just go, like, grabs you by your collar and says, if you ever had a son, you would understand that despite any sort of pain they go through, that's the last thing you ever wish for. You cannot do that. At this point, Ismark pulls aside Hagrid and just goes, that may be a simpler way if we end his life and you quickly revive him. There's a chance that the curse will be broken with the end of his life.
Can you do that?
I imagine clerics have the chance to revive people. We've heard about it in our lore for years and years.
Well, I know I have preserved life. That does not bring someone back from the dead.
You guys just finished a long rest. For the sake of story here, if you want to change your spells, since you've got divine magic and access to all of them, that we can retcon so that you change your spells and then fast forward right back to this moment.
Dad, don't you have Revivify as one of your divine domain spells?
Yeah, but I'm not even sure what that does. If I look at them and I can remember them for like 5 minutes, and then I have some and forget what they do.
So Revivify takes anything that within the last minute died, and then you're able to essentially bring them back to life. So while they're still in that conversion from life to death into the afterlife, you're able to essentially take them away from purgatory and say, what you say to the god of death? Not today.
Well, since
let's go kill this dude.
Is a domain spell, I don't have to even kind of circumvent the actual rules and change any spells.
Perfect.
I would have to with remove curse.
Yeah.
So I guess we can try it.
Then Ismark kind of looks at you and goes like, I will get Donovich and my sister and I, and maybe one other person, we'll go bury my father, and we'll have him perform the rites. And then whatever you need to do to fix his son Baru, that's what you do.
While this was going on, I shove the priest off of me, and I say, this is an expensive doublet. Don't do that.
And I've been muttering into the bag of holding the entire time.
Roll an intimidation check.
Intimidation?
Yes.
All right. That's a 14.
Yeah, you just beat it. He sits there and begins to dust off your doublet and goes like, it's a fine material, better than anything we've had in our area in quite some time. I don't want to destroy the one nice thing that we have in this area.
I think he likes you.
Well, how can you not like this doublet?
I don't think it's the doublet.
He looks again at the gnome and is like, "Will someone please shut him up?"
Tony,
Gladly.
why don't you just go back to murmuring to your bag for whatever reason?
Sounds good. Back to
I'm gonna smack him in the head.
Yeah, at this point, Ismark just goes like, "All right, well, it appears we have an exchange for services. Our friends here will help remove the curse from your son. And then why don't you perform the last rites for our father?" So he's going to make a persuasion check. Okay, that went well versus the priest. Same exact score. Great, now I got to look up fucking modifiers. Fucking stupid.
Son of a bitch. Game.
So
And that's
is
straight up, so they have to roll again. There we go. All right, so Donovich, the priest, just nods, heads off with the brother and sister and the box, leaving the rest of the party just there in the chapel. They see the wooden trap door into the lower level.
I guess we should head down. Hey, before we do though, Jay, what was it? So the running water, does it cause burns?
It is information that you guys have read but haven't substantiated yet. So from what Toni has read is that it provides a sort of damage to a vampire. You don't know specifically how that works yet. You haven't seen it.
What do I remember from when we interrogated that thrall? Because I know we did something with water, didn't we?
Yeah, we dumped
Yeah,
water on him.
you dumped a water skin on him, and it looked like it was steaming. It appeared to have a caustic effect to it, but because of the amount of water that you had and the fact that it only ran for a short period of time, as soon as it started to beat up, the caustic effect appeared to be eliminated.
Okay, so I can't really tell that if it would cause burns to dump a quantity of water on a vampire.
The best that you know is that it is there's a movement quality in the water that activates it. It just throwing it in water appears to not have the effect that you hoped for.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of like what the best way to kill him would be without like maiming him to the point where he would,
Doing too much.
succumb to his injuries when we revive him.
Yeah.
Well,
I got cure wounds.
I also have potions.
It's true, I suppose, because I mean, with a little bit of metagaming, I know that Hagrid's spell brings them just to where they're not dead.
They are back to 1 hit point. Yes.
Yeah. So it would definitely probably help because Leovan, you said cure wounds, yeah? You can heal people.
Yeah.
And then Toni, I know you've done it in the past. Do you still have that spell prepared?
Yep, I got cure wounds ready to go. I also have 3 potions, I believe.
Okay. So then we could in theory then have Hagrid stabilize him and then have you two heal him. We just I guess need to be careful not to dismember him in any way.
At least too bad.
I think fingers you can live without, but limbs is probably a little much.
Yeah, but we have to find a way to kill him without doing irreparable damage, which is kind of the opposite of killing him.
Toni, roll a Arcana check.
Ooh, I'm good at those. Let's see here. My modifier is a 6. I got an 11.
Don't worry because this is basic. Yeah, this is like potions 101 information. So you met the DC on this. Your knowledge of how potions work is that it doesn't necessarily. It essentially speeds up the healing process. So if there's an approximation, it essentially will fill in wounds as far as a battle mechanic, it does. The regular potion would do 2d4 plus 2 healing. However, if there is cosmetic damage, repeated use of the potion will restore some of that. So as long as the wounds are minor, you have a chance of making it look, or immediately go into scar tissue as opposed to an active wound.
So then I suppose what we could do is I could use like my dagger and really quickly like just sever an artery, and then with bringing it back to life, we could fix that probably, minimizing the amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on board.
All right. Well, what do you think, gents? Let's go see what we're working with.
If he's weak enough, we could even try strangling the bastard.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that plan better.
If he's very strong, though, whoever's going to attempt that is going to take a lot of hurt.
Well, Tony and myself, we've seen a fairly emaciated vampire in the past, so we can kind of gauge how this guy looks versus that guy, and maybe try to make a judgment call from there.
And we do have 40 holy stakes and 5 holy water skins.
Oh, true, yeah. I mean, if we
yeah, we could stake him, and then because that stops him from moving, regardless of where the stake is in him.
Also, what if we made him drink holy water, because that would kill him from the inside out, but becoming human would eliminate that.
True, but if it causes, again, like a burning effect, then I don't know. I kind of like the strangling idea. We can stake him and then strangle him while he can't move.
As you guys,
if we stake him through the heart, we don't have to worry about doing anything else, right?
Well, from what Tony learned last time, putting a stake in a vampire just paralyzes them. They still need to be eliminated by other means.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
As you guys continue your conversation, and by all means, I'm not telling you not to continue your conversation, you've noticed that the pine box has been moved outside, containing the Burgomaster. Ismark, Irina have outside. Donovich comes out to you and goes like, we're starting. When are you? As he just walks out.
Swear I'm gonna slap that priest.
Oh man, you're so angry at somebody caring about his fucking son.
Ugh, he's such a bitch. So yeah, I guess let's head down, see how he looks, and Tony, why don't you prepare a steak for us, sir? And I don't mean a fillet.
So, I would like to whisper into the bag of holding and have whatever I've been whispering to hand me a steak.
Okay. Since it's a non-living entity and doesn't require oxygen, yeah, I can do that. So, you just sit there and you see, like, it comes out. It appears to be like a steampunk style, like, copper forearm that comes out, and along here it's just like bladed. What appears to be a like lightweight alloy that appears to have it's like a razor wing. The talons at the edge of the wing just comes up, and you just see a little piece of metal or a little piece of wood come out of it. And as soon as Tony grabs it, that arm just gives a thumbs up, comes right back down.
So do we notice this?
Everyone roll perception, who is not Tony.
$18.
Okay.
27.
Okay.
It's supposed to be rolling.
Yeah, I know. Huh. Two.
Everyone except for the Goliath, who is more seeming to be prepared on trying to get the resurrection magic down pat. It's been a while since you've done that. You just want to make sure that you've got all the steps down, going through the motions at the moment. Everyone else sits there, recognizes the really strange mechanical arm that just gave an item to Toni.
Toni, who's your little friend?
That's
Say
Ace.
hello to my little friend.
Don't worry, he's fun.
What's his name?
Ace.
Aeus.
Automaton Eagle Substitute.
That's clever.
So it's like a robot bird.
Hold on. So I decide to delve in halfway into my bag of holding, grab Ace, and drag him out of the bag real fast.
Roll a strength check. Or athletics. I'm sorry, athletics.
All right. 17.
17. It's kind of comical the fact that you still have the bag around your body. You go down, you reach, and it's a wrestling match of really underwhelming proportions. At a certain point, it like reminds you of someone trying to pull themselves up literally by their bootstraps, and that it's just opposing forces that cancel each other out. It takes about a minute and a half until Toni realizes what's going on, sets the bag down, then comes down and pulls out the bird.
Gentlemen, Ace. Ace, gentlemen.
For the sake of story elements, can Aeus talk, or is he not able to?
He can understand any languages I speak, but cannot talk in any form.
Perfect. Aeus just comes up. The wings start by going out wide, unfurling. It has a shockingly long wingspan, but then one arm comes down, comes across, and gives a nice little bow. Comes back up, arms at its side, but it was a very, very clunky thing. With how close it was to you, Lucien, you were able to dodge out of the way. Otherwise, you would have been grazed by the slash of a wing.
I see this thing's equally as clumsy as our friend Toni.
Well, what do you expect? It's a Toni Povar original.
Let's hope it works better than your flashbang grenades.
Yeah, I took apart some of those.
All right. So are you guys heading down the trap door?
Yeah.
All right. As you head down the trap door, the door itself wasn't locked. You quickly bring it up. You can see that time and neglect have punched holes to the ceiling of the moldy room. It contains a few broken roof shingles under puddles of water. It looks like this was originally going to repair holes in the roof, but then the replacement shingles themselves were broken. In one corner, set to the floor, is a... oh, I'm sorry, I should have read that before. So we're going to go down to the next one here. The undercroft. The church's undercroft, through the trap door, has rough-hewn walls and floor made of damp clay and earth. Rotting wooden pillars strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling to the undercroft. Candlelight from the chapel above slips through the cracks, allowing you a glimpse to a incredibly gaunt shape in the far corner. And then let me make sure.
Is there like a light source down here?
Those of you who have low light vision or dark vision are able to see just fine in this. So from what I would understand is Lucien and Leovan should be able to see just fine, but you can make out everyone else can make out the shape if you don't have dark vision. But the kind of clarity is suboptimal. You understand there's something there. You understand it, like you can see every motion it makes, but the details are lost upon you at the moment.
Leovan, we should look around the room for like some sconces or something that we can light.
I would like to rip off one of my lantern patches.
Oh, yeah.
You do that. The patch comes out, and there's a little puff of smoke, and then the arcane energy that releases, you now have a nice little torchlight, metal base, kind of what like from what a camping set would have, and there's a little kerosene lantern inside, already lit. It kind of illuminates. It'll go a 10 by 10 foot radius, or I'm sorry, 10 by 10 foot cube of light.
Woohoo!
So you can set that down, and you immediately are able to see sort of almost starving, all like it's bone and sinew. All that you can see. The figure is kind of in the fetal position right now. His hands right next to his head, sort of just raven black hair, absolutely disheveled. It looks like it's been months since he last washed. The skin itself is as pale white as you can imagine it can be. And then as you look closer, as he's screaming out, you can see two fangs on the top, and then two smaller fangs on the bottom of his rows of teeth. Yeah, so there you go.
Yep.
How is he restrained again?
He is it appears that there's just he's chained to a weight. So he's able to move around slowly, but there's no way that he can climb the ladder to get up below.
Okay. So his like arms and legs are free, basically.
Everything is free to move around. It's just one leg is really weighed down.
Fucking humanitarians. All right. I think it probably makes the most sense as far as a success ratio goes to have Hagrid try to stab him with the stake so we can get him immobilized.
Well, thought. We have individuals with crossbow abilities, correct?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah, sorry, yeah, Hagrid's got a heavy crossbow. I forgot about that.
Could we load a stake into the crossbow and just shoot the fucker?
I'm not sure what the difference in size is between a stool leg and a heavy crossbow bolt.
I would imagine it's considerable.
As you do this, Doru kind of sniffs again. He begins to look at Leovan and just goes, "You have it. You have blood. You have to give some. You must give some." He sounds almost schmeagly. I would attempt the voice if it wasn't for the fact that I absolutely butcher it, but that's what you're hearing.
You don't want what I have.
I'm sorry. Blood over no blood, it's not an option. Please, you must give it.
Somebody take care of this dude. So I'm just gonna kill him. So
let's Hagrid, why don't you step up and try to stake this hungry motherfucker.
All right.
Hey, I have a thought. What if we took one of the water skins and splashed him with it first, so that way he's distracted, so Hagrid has an increased probability of being able to get close without resistance?
I think he's probably pretty distracted by Leovan, or no?
Roll perception on that, Lucien.
Mm-hmm. You said perception?
Yes.
That is a 25.
That is verifiably true.
Verifiably true.
Like at this point, Lucien is in a moment of taunting, has taken out the skin that has contained the tainted blood. He's just kind of waving it around, and like when you have a treat for your dog, and you just have it in your hand, you move it, and the head just immediately goes like, "This is the object of my life. I must have this." It is darting around the entire time. You're beginning to think that Leovan is kind of an asshole.
All right, so I'll distract him. I'll like kind of walk to the side a bit, so that Hagrid has like a clear path to, I don't know, get him like in the back or something easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
my dexterity is only a 14.
Well, I figured this would probably be a strength thing.
Yeah,
you're considerably stronger than the rest of us.
Straight up, stab him with it.
Like if you wanted, like if anybody was likely to bang this motherfucker, it'd be you. Take back your city, Barovians.
All right. Well, while what's his name, Drew, or something like
Doru, yes.
While he's distracted by the pulsating bag, I grab the stake from Toni and attempt to stab the stake in.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a attack with advantage. So roll a d20 twice, take the higher number, and then add your melee attack bonus. Since it's a simple weapon, you will get your full attack bonus.
And what do I add?
So it the full attack bonus. So it should be whatever your hand axe naturally is for a melee attack, but the numbers that comprise it are your proficiency bonus and your strength bonus.
Okay, so 22.
22, absolutely. You're able to.
It's not even adding the rest of the stuff. It could be like as high as 28 if I remember all the other stuff you said to add.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you get it square in the back. As he sits there, he's darting around. He like Leovan just brings it here. Like here's the bag. Now here's the bag. Now here's the bag. And he's just following step for step. At one point, he reaches out, and that's when the stake breaks through his skin, and you see him immediately just seize up how starved he is. You're able to see every, albeit tiny muscle, but every muscle just immediately clench, and he falls straight onto the ground because he was leaning forward.
All right, step 1 complete, gentlemen.
All right.
What was step 2?
Wait for him to die and then bring him back.
I think step 2 was do him a strangling, which again was right up Hagrid's alley.
Well, since I am standing right there and I need to be close to him for the revivify anyway. All right, so I grab this poor creature by the throat and I start throttling him.
All right, so for the sake of brevity on this, mostly because you already have double advantage. He's prone, he's paralyzed, you are attacking from behind. He's completely unaware of you. So at a certain point, it's just going to be an automatic critical. We'll sit there. And it's like you're able to, take your Goliath hands and the size on that versus the starved neck. You're able to interlock your fingers, and so that the front of the neck is completely covered. Your thumbs pointing straight up to keep his head intact. And at this point, you just squeeze your hands together.
Hopefully not to the point where I hear cracking and popping.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Hopefully not to the point where I start to hear cracking and popping.
I
don't want to pick the poor bastard's neck.
There's not that at a certain point, because the entire idea is that you want it to be cosmetic damage at the most.
Right.
From what you have told me earlier, is that you just come down, you put more and more. There's a small shape change just because of how plastic the skin has become. It's lost a lot of its elastic style, and then when you let go, you can see that a lot of what little color that he had has completely removed. He looks completely albino. Like Dan, because I think you're the only one that'll get this reference. He looks like Edgar Winter from the Edgar Winter group now.
Strangling Edgar Winter? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, for anybody who's listening onto this, Google's gonna be your best friend, so you can understand what an albino human looks like. At that point, you can see the eyes the musculature of the eyes also seized up, but you can just see the body begin to fall a little less rigid. It's still completely paralyzed. It looks like it is in a different style of paralysis than when the stake was through it. Yeah. Just because you can't see the body fall limp, you're not quite sure it's dead, but you know it's certainly not alive.
Can I do like a medicine check to check his pulse, see if he's alive?
Medicine would be more. I would sit there and say the therapeutic interventions. This will be an investigation.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
if
fine
he's
with that.
going to be, he's going to be dying as vampires from the movies, I understand, do. Doesn't he going to start to revert back to his regular form, or is that just werewolves?
You may know that. Your character, I would not believe does. Unfortunately, there's so many things that in lore that vampires have done. It doesn't not all of it matches up with the book. It goes more towards what if you had to sit there and find something, it's more what Stoker has written vampires can do more than any other portion of the lore.
So this is not something that Toni would have been able to read.
I was actually just about to ask that.
I don't believe so. It is just like in the real world, there's a lot of debate as what vampires can do, but you do know it certainly does not sparkle.
I rolled a 13 for my investigation.
About is that dead is dead. You can only be so dead.
Yeah.
Degrees of dead, but we only have a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Best you can tell, you're not detecting any pulse. There's no breathing rates on here. Most of what you understand with paralysis and the effects that you've seen in the past is that it affects mostly skeletal muscle. Smooth and cardiac muscle is usually unaffected. You essentially are gone to almost like a REM cycle. So you'll still have your pulse, you'll still have your breathing rate. You can still like move, like handle basic living functions. It looks like those don't appear. So best you can tell, yes, this is death.
Okay.
Well, we could pull the stake, do the drop dead arm test, and go from there.
Yeah. Okay. So while Hagrid's back there, I'll step forward and pull the stake out of him.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay. I'm rolling a lot of 7s today. That's a 6.
That's a 6. Like you begin to come down and you realize exactly how much weaker you are than a Goliath. You start by just one hand, expecting it to be quite easy, but it looks like he kind of lodged that in between a couple of ribs. And you just sit there, you grab, like, first pull, no. Second pull, it's like, okay, I'm going to try now. No. You're going to put your left hand in there too. Pull, no. Eventually you like get down into like a deadlift formation, and then boom, it pops off like a champagne cork.
Is it bad that I just imagine a little font of, the residual blood pressure squirting blood out?
Yeah. One, it's bad, but two, I like it.
All right, so I lay the lifeless body on the floor.
Yep. Done.
And now I get ready to cast Revivify.
All right. So with this, I think this is a perfect situation to kind of show what happens during any sort of Revivify or Resurrection. What will happen is Dan is preparing the spell. Anybody else can do something that will either aid or prevent the revivification. This is based off of DC. You'll get 3 actions to assist Hagrid in this case. Depending on what you do, I will determine how much it raises or lower. I roll a D20, and if you guys go well, basically the only way that you fail is if I roll a 1 for you. If you guys really shit the bed, there's going to be times that only a 20 will save you. So this is going to be a great moment. So the
skills challenge?
Are we still in this room by ourselves? Nobody's followed us or anything like like that, right?
No, yeah, Ismark and Irina decided that in order to give you as many options as possible to distract Donovich, as long as, for as long as it takes to bury their father. So you've got verifiably a pretty decent amount of time, considering they also have to dig up the ground.
No, I don't remember if we actually closed the doors to the church, but
I would not imagine that it matters, because they're like, you're in the lower level of the church, they are outside the church.
Right, that's what I'm worried about. We have no exit except for where they could come from.
Correct. Yeah, but right now is you're starting the ritual. Your hands begin to like become light. You're placing it right over his chest in the same way that you would place AED pads. And then you start muttering a prayer to your deity. Anybody else? How would you like to assist this ritual?
Well, to assist Hagrid with his confidence of safety, I would like to scramble up the ladder and secure the doors to the church and the Undercroft.
All right, roll a stealth check.
Okay. That is a 24.
24. Yeah, you're able to scurry up quite quickly. It looks almost American Ninja Warrior-esque. It's kind of impressive how quickly you're able to get up that floor. You're able to quickly look around, look for any way. You realize that the more and more that you move items, the more attention you're going to draw. So while nobody's in the church, you just kind of lower the trap door. You're done. You just turn around and you go to Hagrid. It's like, we're all good, guys. And you give the hang loose sign. I don't know if that means anything to everybody, but yeah, you may have invented this. But at this point, Hagrid definitely feels a little bit more at ease knowing that the ritual is going to go uninterrupted. Next, assist.
I'd like to prep one of my potions for dumping down this guy's throat, and in addition, just with how easy the door opened and the fact that we're curing a vampire, I'd like to send Ace upstairs to the rafters to act as an early warning system.
Considering the just making sure that you know what would happen on this, since this is your construct, it is kind of steampunky. There is some elements that run on pneumatics and steam, which isn't exactly quiet at this point. For Ace, just so that you are aware of some of the limitations of him.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to be quiet. I'm expecting him to just make high-pitched screechy noise if something comes into the church while we're doing this.
Okay, have Ace roll stealth with disadvantage then.
Dude, guys, this sounds bad. Alright. I got a 2 as my lower one.
Okay. At this point, just the mere walking of Ace up to open up the trap door, it is verifiably quite loud.
Good bird.
Yeah, at a certain point, everyone is looking over and just sits there and is like, maybe this idea sucks.
Maybe Ace, get back in your bag.
There you go. Yep. I don't ever say I didn't try to help the party.
Yep. You warned him.
Yep. At this point, Ace immediately stops. He's about halfway to the trap door, and the sound absolutely ceases. It's now back to its regular level of volume. During that, you uncap one of your potions of healing, and you have it pour right over his mouth, ready to just force feed it to him. That is your second action. Third, Leovan, how would you like to assist since everybody else has decided how they're helping?
I am going to cast my spike growth around the area under the trapdoor,
Okay.
just in case something comes in.
All right. What was the spell called? Spike growth?
Yeah.
Don't you love it when we start a new game and I have to, every time we cast a spell, it's like, oh, that sounds cool. What does that even do?
That's good though. It means we're all learning.
I just added it, so.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Ground within a 20-foot radius is centered on a point within range. Twist and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. Difficult to move through. If it tries to, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
Yikes.
Transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural.
Huh.
It's not too large a diameter for where we're at, is it?
No, he's good. Okay. Yeah, so essentially he just made a... so spiked ground, it looks like it's new pieces of like broken wood and rafter, like a rafter had fallen down, even though you look up clearly there's still a rafter, and there's just splintered wood everywhere. But it is kind of an almost a conjuration, not quite an illusion. But yeah, they're now stuck outside and you're stuck inside for the moment. We are now at the moment, the divine energy is almost at a critical mass at Hagrid's hands. He begins to push through, and all that divine energy goes through, and...
If it's AED, like, shouldn't I yell, everyone stand clear?
You certainly can.
Stand clear?
And then I'm going to turn on video for a second so you can see the end result of the roll. Okay, everybody is aware of the number, yeah?
Nope.
Can't tell what that is.
I can see
Alright.
the dice, but I can't see the number.
All right, then let me move it up to you. That is the result.
Ooh, we got a 10.
Yes, which beat the DC.
Nice.
Yeah, the original DC was 10. For the record, Corey helping the environment to calm Hagrid down lowered it 3. The stealth actually attempt by the Eagle raised it 2. The potion lowered it 1. And then the spike growth actually had no effect.
Perfect.
Yep. It didn't hurt, it didn't help because it did what another action already did.
Perfect.
But in the end, the energy goes through. All of Doru begins to glow. You can see the teeth beginning to shrink. The starvation effects, the exhaustion aren't really covered by the spell, but eventually his eyes begin to go back into this, like the pupils begin to go back into the center of his eye, and he just comes up and appears to be too weak and too strangled to talk right now. Yeah. But he is verifiably alive now.
All right.
Like vampire verifiably alive or human verifiably alive?
Why don't you
Except the
roll
teeth, right?
investigation? Yeah, roll investigation check.
Alright, I have just rolled a 19 with a +6, so 25.
It appears that he still is quite, like, his skin is still kind of malformed. He's barely alive right now, but alive, and it appears to be human.
Alright, dump potion down throat.
All right. So that will do. Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Come here, you stupid fuckers. They're in the corner. 9.
9. All right. So as you begin to pour it down, apparently Hagrid strangled him real good, and it goes down his throat much slower than you anticipate him chugging something would be. It's almost like his esophagus was collapsed. But as the pressure of the liquid begins to sort of break up that, you begin to see the neck kind of regain its normal shape. or the pre-existing shape that it had. A little bit of skin color begins to come down. It's still quite pasty, but it's not, true white anymore. And you begin to see his body begin to show signs of recovery. Still starving, still exhausted, no longer showing obvious signs of being strangled to death. As you begin to look around, you begin to see the puncture wound where the stake was begin to close up. It begins to cover with scar tissue starting at the bottom of the wound and working its way up. There is an obvious deformity there, but it looks like it's an old wound as opposed to I just got stabbed with a wooden stake. But at this point, even though throughout all of the healing, Doru looks like he's too weak to really communicate.
Hey, Leovan, you might want to wiggle that blood in front of him again and see what happens.
What if he takes it, though?
Then you know he's a vampire.
Exactly.
Then I'm out of it.
Just stand
just do it.
Then you double kill
do
it.
it. Do it out of his reach.
All right, from a careful distance, I'm going to dangle the skin of blood.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
Where's my modifier? 11.
He seems completely disinterested in it. It's almost like you were trying to shake shiny keys at a 21-year-old instead of a baby.
Okay, I think it's safe to say he's not a vampire anymore.
Or he just doesn't know how good this tastes.
Well, he doesn't need a new form of sanguinism, so why don't you go ahead and pocket that again?
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, nice job, Hagrid.
Thanks for the help, guys.
So I guess let's let the priest know that his son is alive and human again.
Can we somehow dispel the
Oh yeah.
without
Is it a concentration spell?
process?
It is a concentration spell for the spiked ground.
So I'm gonna get rid of that then.
All right. So as you drop the spell, eventually the conjured wood, which allowed the trapdoor to bow a little bit, you see that bowing sort of still present, just way lesser now. It seems like it took quite a bit of strain, but that strain has been worn and lifted. At this point, Aes, who I'm going to have the hardest time not calling ass at times, Aes is still standing there awaiting orders.
Get in your home!
It begins to turn about face, it walks straight into the bag of holding, and disappears.
Sounds good. Off we go.
Should we be helping the priest's son upstairs, or do we just leave him there?
I think the priest can deal with that. He's a bit of a dick, so.
He was a little douchey, wasn't he?
My heart of hearts is saying fuck him and leave him here.
Well, we already saved his ass. So.
Exactly. We did our bit.
What's your alignment, Lucien?
Lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral. All right, yeah. I see where.
It works.
All right.
That works really well. I did what I said I was going to do. Didn't say I was going to do more.
Yeah.
Yep. That's lawful. Yeah, that's you guys head up through the trap door and you realize that apparently burying somebody takes way longer when you have to dig a hole. So you head back into the main chapel and you realize that you guys were completely undisturbed throughout all of this.
Woohoo.
Excellent.
All right, out to the graveyard, see how priest and burial's going. Then I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you guys head out, the hole has been dug. The the burgomaster has been lowered into it. It appeared that there was an interloper in the middle of the ceremony. There is what appears to be a elvish individual speaking with Ismark.
What kind of elf?
The kind in front of you.
How are they dressed?
Quite fancy, actually.
Are they
don't
speaking
like
common?
He's
I don't wanna
got a
talk to him.
cloak. The cloak looks really nice. He's got a nice, cool sword.
I want to take his sword.
I
Are
won't touch
they
it.
are they speaking common?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just you understand that it's common. You're just a little bit too far away to make sense of what they're saying.
Stealth closer.
I don't need to stealth. I'll just walk right up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we approach them.
I'll stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mostly because I have to use the restroom, let's take a 5-minute break, guys, and then we will see what is going on with this new individual that shows up to funerals and shit.
I already don't like him.
Fetish. He's got a fetish.
I'm gonna steal his sword.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
Don't you have a flaming sword already, though?
He
Yeah,
does.
I don't want him to have a sword.
Yep. All right. Let's take a 5-minute break, guys. And be right back.
All
All right.
Alright.
Corey, in the meantime, can you please offer up who's sponsoring us this episode?
I'm not gonna do that.
What?
So, I'm not going to do that. Is the world's finest. I'm not going to do that company. If you want somebody to be
I would.
lazy around your house.
If we were sponsored, I would totally do it. I would, yeah, I would absolutely. If there was a sponsorship, I would totally run sponsorship ads during our breaks. But
Yeah.
there isn't, so I'm not gonna.
That's funny. Well, we seem to be making pretty decent progress.
Yeah. We might have time to check out the Shrieking Shack too.
Whorehouse.
I don't know why you think it's a whorehouse.
He said moaning coming from a building. Obviously, whorehouse.
I don't. Did he say moaning? I don't remember him saying moaning.
He said moaning the first time. So that's where my mind went. Whorehouse. Moaning. Whorehouse.
Alright. I'm not gonna fight you on that.
Yeah, you've known me long enough to go that I got a fucked up thought process.
Yeah, I know. It's a lost cause.
Yep. Yeah, that's funny. We actually cured vampirism.
Never would have thought to cure vampirism by killing somebody.
Hey, now we know for down the road, if we want to cure vampirism, just kill them first and then bring them back.
Yeah.
Wonder what would happen if we did that to Strahd. Killed him and brought him back as a human.
Well, we have to bring his head to the bloody hunt.
They didn't say it had to be removed from his body.
They did.
Nope.
Yes, she did.
Nope.
All right, I've returned. Who sponsored us this episode, Corey?
We don't have any sponsors right now.
Oh, God.
We're not popular.
This episode was not brought to you by Loot Crate, because fuck Loot Crate. We are
And
Nor
never
was it brought to you by
gonna
Squarespace.
get- Yeah.
Well,
We are
exactly.
never going to get sponsored by Loot Crate at this rate, guys.
Nope. It's okay. It'll happen eventually. Maybe, probably never.
Seems most likely never.
Yeah, probably that last one.
So did we line up a sponsor or what?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be.
if we're turning this into a YouTube series, we might as well. You know what? We'll just start using YouTube ads as well.
There we go. Whatever
Yeah.
ad it plays during this, that's who sponsored it.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by whatever you skip past for 5 seconds after the ad started. Because really, why are you watching ads on YouTube?
Sometimes it's something cool.
Hey, you can watch those European commercials that have naked ladies on YouTube.
Okay. Well, there's our weekly creepy moment. Apparently using YouTube for porn is a thing.
It's only softcore.
The fact that you were defending this is kind of unnerving.
Navy.
That your default responses to anything you do is like at a certain point it's just you actively bucking societal norms and not the Navy at all.
Yeah, that too. Navy.
All right. As we head back into the world of Barovia, where YouTube doesn't exist and we don't make these asinine comments for no one to hear. As you head out and you are reaching closer towards this strange individual, he just, it appears he is talking with Ismark being the main contributor in the conversation aside from the person who just goes like, he says, Strahd would like to congratulate you on your promotion to Burgomaster of the town of Barovia. However, he is concerned that there has been a lapse in payments while there was no administrator of the city. He wants to know that what was owed to him will be sent to him. At this point, he notices the party arrive, and he goes and walks past Ismark and just goes, "Ah, gentlemen, as a representative of Strahd, I am very, very glad to send his regards. Welcome to the land of Barovia."
So, what's up with this shakedown going on here? Can't you see these people have nothing?
This environment hurts a lot of people in a lot of ways, and consolidating some funding helps us protect the world at large. Unfortunately, everyone must pitch in.
Is this guy a vampire?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
24.
Nice.
There is without a doubt the knowledge that this is a vampire that is in Strahd's inner circle based off of the way that he dresses, the way that he's communicating, the obviously vampiric physical characteristics. You know this is somebody quite important and somebody quite vampiric.
Do you still have that steak?
I got
We've got a lot of-
39 more.
Gentlemen.
I'm gonna dump my water skin on him.
Yes. There is no reason for us to fight. This is merely a welcome here. You have been invited into a great land. Why don't you just sit here, learn a little bit more about the environment, and then you can decide whether or not you want to fight an entire army when you are the only ones fighting.
You're the only one here right now.
You do
Vampire Man.
He sits there and moves his attention from the elf over to the gnome. My name is Rahadin.
Okay, good for you. So how's that supply and demand problem you guys are having?
I'm sorry?
I got a little bit of knowledge hearing that supplies coming in for your sustainment have been halted slightly.
Oh, yes. The town of Accra. If you think that was our only expansion project, I must make it painfully aware to you that it was not. It was only one part of bigger plans. We have moved on more aggressively in our other ventures. The penalties to what you have done has been minor and negated.
Who said that was us?
Yeah, I just came to offer my assistance with your supply and demand problem.
I believe that you are not giving your adversary the credit that it is due, which is very dangerous to you. I can offer you that as free advice. The next time you need it from me, though, there will be a cost. At this point, he begins to just run his hand over the blade of his sword, which, as it looks, as you have a closer look to it, it is more of a scimitar cut sword as opposed to a long sword.
I wrap my hand around the hilt of my dagger, and I say to him, and here's some free advice from me. Maybe don't come shake people down in the middle of a funeral.
I was not shaking anyone down. I was simply congratulating a person emerging as a leader of a community.
It sounded like a little bit more than that to me.
If I explain a job description, please don't take that as a threat. At this point, his hand comes off of the blade and he goes, but I think we've gotten off on a wrong foot here. You have been brought into Barovia because we understand that there are talents about you. We actually are interested in bringing you into the fold. You've proven that you have been a challenge for us, a challenge that we've been able to overcome, but there's something about you that I think you'd be wonderful for our organization.
Copper for your thoughts, as I hold a copper up to him.
He has completely ignored you. It's almost like you're standing in the corner having a stand-up show to yourself and everybody else is having a conversation.
And I go back to muttering to Aes about how he's the only one who really understands me.
It's almost true. Yeah, he just comes up to you and says, like, you are welcome into Castle Ravenloft if you'd like to meet with Strahd directly and hear directly from the horse's mouth the propositions he has in mind. At this point, he begins to walk back over towards Ismark, sticks his hand out as an appearance to shake his hand. He goes, once again, I would like to congratulate you for your new office. He turns to Irina and goes, and as for you, it's always a pleasure to see you again. As he begins to walk off, as Ismark just does not recognize the shake at all, the amount of disdain on Ismark's face, one, for interrupting his father's funeral, and two, yeah, essentially being extorted, really takes any sort of joy out of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
These guys got a messed up culture. Funerals are full of joy.
Well, I mean, considering that your dad is no longer rotting where he's not supposed to be rotting.
Finally being laid to rest properly.
Yes. Knowing that you can't be turned, like you essentially, there is nothing more that can be done to you. Yeah. But at this point, everybody is standing around in awkward silence.
So the jackass elf left. Is that what we're?
Yep, the jackass elf acted like a jackass and left.
I was wondering if we were going to get any more information out of him, or I was just going to start killing him.
Ditto.
Now you don't need to ask that question because he took his leave of you.
I slap my leg and go, damn it, I forgot to send my regards to Strahd. Fuck, that would have been so cool.
Hey, we did get some good information, though.
That's interesting you said that. I mean, because now it begs the question as to, do we just take the invitation and get right to it, or are we supposed to continue on with the campaign of us getting to the castle?
Well, we were invited in.
It's true.
Right.
And last time something like this happened, we gained valuable insight into how we could succeed in a plan. So we could potentially go and gather information and figure out like kind of what we're up against as far as our end game here.
At this point, Ismark kind of butts into your little staff meeting, and he just goes like, remember that this is the head of the beast. There will be absolutely everything thrown at you if you decide to take it head on. You don't know everything that you can learn. We don't know everything that there is to know. You four, going up against the entire horde of vampires, will likely only end in your certain death or conversion.
I thought we were just gonna go say hi.
Strahd's toying with you to see if you will accept diplomacy. There is no agreement for you there.
That's what I was thinking, is that, we may be walking into our deaths if we decide to tell him no, we don't want to become part of his little entourage.
Right, yeah, if he offers us basically an ultimatum at the end.
It's, there are times in past where we have tried to confront Strahd directly. At his castle, we realized that we were fighting him on his terms. It was a, for lack of a better term, a bloodbath. And every life we lost that day only added to Strahd's influence.
But we learned we can cure vampirism.
You
One at a time.
Hey, I got 40 steaks. I can make more.
at this
You got any
point,
stools
Donna
around?
perks up and just sits there and goes, You did? You saved my son? How? How did you do it?
We stabbed him.
What?
I don't think you need to really know the process we went through. Just know that your son is back.
At this point, the sort of steeled expression on Donovich's face from the situation of his son to seeing what Rahadin had been talking about, it kind of softens a bit. The eyes begin to widen up. It's almost a overwhelmingly cathartic moment for him, and he just goes, "Gentlemen, I believe I did not understand the powers that be. I thought that you were brought here because you're godforsaken too. I cannot apologize enough for how I've behaved. Just understand that this is a place that has gone without hope for quite some time, and you may end up being more powerful than we considered, but that means we have to protect you all the same. We have to have measured movements here. We need to make sure that we have every avenue available for us. Because if we lose you, we might as well just all call it a day and, well, make it so that he can't influence anything else."
Well, now I feel like kind of a dick, so I want to tell him that his son is still down in the Undercroft and in need of some food and probably rest and medical attention.
Maybe some water, too.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. If you guys don't mind, we'll speed up this ritual, and I'll get back to caring for my son. For the sake of brevity, nothing else really happens. The shovels come out, the dirt gets put down, and by then it's the end of the day. Pretty close to midnight, and at that time you see, as you head back into the church, an eerie green light that suffuses from the graveyard. From this light emerges a ghostly procession, wavering images of dowdy women toting great swords, woodwise men with their slender bows, dwarves with glittering axes, and archaically dressed mages with beards and strange pointed hats. All these and more march from the graveyard Their numbers growing by the second, and they walk straight out of the cemetery, right through the main road, and right out of town on the west end. As you guys continue to look, you see more and more. It starts off as tens, and then hundreds, and then thousands of of these projections come out. You see the line just curl around and eventually make their way to the foot of Castle Ravenloft. They don't seem concerned with you at all. It appears to be a distortion in time. These aren't spirits, they're not ghosts. It looks like a disruption that showed what once was.
They're after images.
Yeah.
So this is essentially us seeing an attack, more or less, on Castle Ravenloft.
I think
at this point
that we just uncursed cursed ground.
At this point, it is Irina comes up to you and says, "That is sort of a contradictory statement. There is nowhere here that isn't cursed. These are individuals. That's our lone historian town. Best she was able to surmise was the assault on Castle Ravenloft. These were the souls that were lost that day. And through their conviction, these images remain. Part of it was to sit there and say that individuals had tried to rise up before, but at a certain point, it seems even more damning that numbers greater than what we have available to us have failed. So what hope do we have?"
Hey, I have a thought here. Why don't we go follow these guys, watch and see what happens, and see if we can identify any weak points from their situation of the castle that we could later use to our advantage.
So you wish to learn how to succeed from where we have undeniably, unquestionably been conquered?
Bingo, bango, bongo.
I don't see the use for that.
Knowledge is power, and knowing is half the battle.
Toni, what if we tried to find Irina, has anyone ever interacted with any of these spirits?
There is no interaction to be had. They're not spirits. They're just images.
I was thinking we could do like a Return of the King thing and get them to, help us. But
That's why I'm saying we just go watch and see how the battle played out for them. See if we can catch a glimpse of anything that we might be able to do differently in the future to our benefit.
You can certainly try. I would only suggest that our efforts should be more towards building a coalition as opposed to learning how we failed, because we have failed. And any time that we try to accept a situation as Strahd intended, there's no chance for success. He will deceive, he will charm, he will lie. Anything to get an upper hand. And trust me, if you ever meet him, he has already planned for it.
Alright guys, light the beacons. Barovia calls for aid.
Irina, what necessarily do we have to gain as far as removing strength from Strahd in moving you from here to Vallaki?
Well, I cannot deny that the telepathic bond will move. He will know instantly that I'm in Vallaki. The only difference there is he would need permission to get through the gates, and Vallaki is the last bastion of humanity, the last bastion of resistance. They know not to let him in. There is almost anywhere else failed attempts to usurp him. There may be some members still trying to resist, but by and large there is a great deal of work that needs to be done before we would feel comfortable just going head on head against the vampire.
You said that Vallaki is a walled city?
It is. It is the only fortified city that remains.
how then might we be able to sort of coax Strahd to assaulting Vallaki, so that we could have at least a defensible area?
You can't be serious. You're going to hold an entire town as bait?
Well, everything you guys have tried has not worked.
That is fair. At this point, the 3 Vistiani individuals from the bar that you guys saw about 24 hours ago come up. They go to Irina first, and then Ismark, offer their condolences in very unremarkable ways, and then look towards the party and just kind of nod their heads. Ismark kind of pulls you guys over and says, this is the Vistiani. This is one of the neutral associations here in Barovia. They aren't really interested in Strahd. Strahd accepts them knowing that they've never assaulted his power. He allows them to go freely, trying to add to their numbers in their clan. They're the only ones that seem to not have drawn his ire. Maybe there's something you can learn from them.
Sounds like a better base of operation than where we are now anyway.
Yeah, I like walled cities.
Yeah, so... Alright, so what's...
Since Tony's had his motor running this whole time, are you going to go check out that shrieking place, or are you doing that already?
Yeah, we can probably do that.
Oh, why don't we rest up and do it tomorrow?
Why?
Get everybody's spells back.
It's not like you guys really used a whole lot.
Yeah, I think we can probably knock it out.
All right, sounds good to me. Let's go then.
All right, so as you guys head over, let's go over here to, once again, a moaning sob floats through the gray streets. What you see here as you enter the house, boarded up, barricaded from the inside, you see a female individual sitting in the center of the floor, clutching what appears to be a malformed doll, absolutely lost in despondency. Doesn't really seem interested in the fact that you just entered her house. Yeah, there you go.
So it was a brothel.
Best you can tell, most brothels have more than one person in it.
This is a crappy little town, so...
Yeah.
It's nice to know that you guys are the most condescending heroes to Barovia. We're going to save you, but just understand how shitty it is, a place that we're saving.
You guys are living in a shithole. You might want to do something about that.
Although the weather is great.
You just throw that up.
All right. We should probably try and talk to the entity
Crying
in
lady?
the middle of the floor.
Talkie guy, go.
Yeah, it doesn't go over so well when I start conversation, so talkie guy, yeah.
It's almost like you picked really shitty topics to talk about.
Right?
So we're just trying to talk to this person who's...
Crying in the middle of the floor. You're the most relatable one out of the group. I mean, we got a Goliath cleric who is extremely stoic, me who's, swear insane gnome, and we got a dude obsessed with drinking blood. At least you can fake it.
Obsessed.
Yeah, okay. What to say? I don't do well with crying.
Want me to go over there? I'll make her cry worse.
Are you all right? Are you hurt?
Yeah. Let's lead off with that. I ask if the crying figure is okay.
At this point, once again, not doing the voice because I want to blow out your earphones. Just between gasps and sobs, shouting out, my daughter, Gertruda, my daughter, she's gone.
Gone.
Gone where?
Let's see here. I'm going to read some more so I can give you accurate information. Yeah, she goes in, I don't know, but I can only fear that the witches grabbed her.
Witches? I didn't hear about any witches.
So far, guys, I think we should abandon this place.
Yeah, she begins to come, like, stand up, turn around, and goes like, have you ever found it odd that there's an entire village and almost no children?
Pretty much everything is odd about this village.
No,
That particular thing didn't stand out.
Yeah, she slumps down and just the nonverbal communication on her face just solemnly accepts the fact that, yeah, everything in this village is fucked.
I mean, this doesn't seem like the place you'd want to raise kids in the first place. Just, I mean, you got witches and vampires and werewolves and a ghost procession that happens nightly, and, I mean, not a place to raise kids.
Alright, let's see if she even heard that. God damn it, she heard that. At this point, she just begins to sob more and more.
And guys, this is why I don't talk to people.
What makes you think that the witches took her?
They've been taking kids for years. Where's the information I need? Chapter 4.
Ooh, is there a trail of treats? Is there a trail of treats?
There is, essentially.
Do they taste like dirt?
For the unrefined taste, maybe. This is me talking, not the character. Oh, I'm sorry. I read this wrong. So we're gonna retcon a little bit, and instead of saying the witches took her, she sits there and goes like, Gertruda ran out of the house a week ago and has not been back since. And this individual believes that she ran to Strahd and Castle Ravenloft. Still, sobbing, all that kind of stuff, but the information is apparently verifiably wrong what I gave you originally.
Why would she run to Strahd?
She was charmed, I think, and was not in full capacity to understand what she was doing.
How long would it take to travel to Strahd's castle?
Let me look at the map. That's... Even though the village of Barovia is kind of at the foot of the mountain it's based on, if you traveled by road, it would probably be the better part of a day and a half traveling, maybe more. If you decided to go through the forest, it could easily be over 3 days of travel.
What makes you so sure that she ran off towards Castle Ravenloft?
Long story short, she's at the castle. It's on her to-do list. Let's go.
To answer your question, Lucien, she's a 22-year-old woman who clearly was not a shell. She was going to be a target of Strahd. It's almost as if Strahd subscribes to our nice guys.
Well,
Kind of agree with Toni. Sounds
I
like
think we should.
I don't know where else this could lead us.
All right. Yeah, because you guys spilled away for that. You guys want to continue that conversation with the individual, or?
Well, it seems like everything's going full circle because daughter ran off to Strahd at the castle. We need to go see Strahd at the castle. I mean, really, it's a full circle kind of thing.
All right.
That's what it seems like.
Is there anything else that she can tell us?
Make an insight check.
What's that plus? So that is 19.
No, you think that based off of her grief, the fact that it's been a week, you don't really believe that she has anything more of value to add to the conversation. It also appears that she is making a lot of conjectures without evidence. You tend to believe in the likelihood of what she said as being true, but you know that it is just a hypothesis and something that has no evidence at the time.
Alright, so let's go see if there's any hunters or trackers in the village that have seen this kid in the past week, you know, possibly mulling around in the forest, or if there's anything in the forest that could be enticing to children.
But the thing, she's not a kid, she's 22.
Yeah.
I'm
notice that-
312.
Do we notice anything else in the house that would lead us to believe we need to investigate it? To look around?
Roll an investigation check.
Ugh, that's crappy. 7.
7. As you look around, probably the most glaring thing is that at the Burgomaster's mansion, you saw sort of holy etchings, as many sort of protective barriers as possible. It seemed like that house was very well prepared to take on any sort of unlife threat. This house appears to be the absolute opposite end of the spectrum. It looked like it was wildly unprepared for any sort of assault. You don't see anything that looks like a vampire forced its way in. You don't know why there's no real evidence supporting anything right now. It looked like this has all kind of been amicable. But no, as far as specific items, there's really nothing of interest to you. It's just as you're investigating around, it just sits there and goes like, this doesn't add up. It doesn't look like there was any sort of struggle that happened in this house.
Okay.
Sounds like she's full of shit.
Yep.
So, crying lady, question: why isn't your house prepared for, you know, the demon evil thing attack every night?
What were we going to do? I mean, as long as we knew not to invite anything in, we were going to be fine.
I don't think a werewolf cares if you invite it in or not.
Where? We're talking about vampires here. If we die by werewolves, we'll be lucky.
Point being, you're not prepared to defend yourself in any way, shape, or form from any kind of thing that's out there that could come in of its own volition without being invited like said vampires.
And how is a single old woman supposed to do that? Death is the only thing to carry me off I have to look forward to now.
All right. Off to the forest.
Hobo murder? Murder hobo?
Yeah, I'm assuming at this point you guys have lost interest in this house and have walked out, realizing that at no point was Toni going to get his rocks off.
Nope.
Yep, so you head out. At this point, you see it's probably close to 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Irina and Ismar walking past. And they come up to you. It's like, so, agreed, you're going to take Irina to Vallaki, yes?
Yeah, it sounds like that's the plan.
Yeah.
All right, well, I suppose we should head back to the mansion, let you guys get some rest, and then we will give you all the provisions that you'll need to make it through to Vallaki.
Excellent.
I can only offer my most extreme gratitude for what you have done for my family. Know that if there's ever a situation in which you need to come back, you've always got a friendly pair of hands here.
Well, that's good, because we may need to call upon you.
And I will be ready to answer the call. I don't know how much I can help, but any aid I can offer, know that it will be done.
Are there soldiers in Vallaki?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
I would hope so. If they've got defenses, that must mean they have people to defend them, but know that it's just a guess.
Sure. All right, so then we're just getting ready then to go to Vallaki.
Yeah.
Pretty late night, early morning-ish.
Yeah.
Would we
Yeah.
benefit from a short rest, or
Considering that it's based off of the amount of time that it took to bury the Burjo Master, you guys have been awake for almost over a full day, and then dealing with Mad Mary. So you guys are definitely feeling some tiredness, and common sense would dictate that if you tried to set off on the trail now, that you won't be physically ready to handle things as you could be.
Yeah. So I mean, we can rest for a few hours somewhere between a short and a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah?
Sweet deal.
Will that at least get Leovan and Hagrid their spell slots back? Because I think they each used one.
I only need 4 hours.
Yeah, as the elf, absolutely. Since Hagrid essentially ritual casted Revivify due to his class ability, I think that's negligible, but yeah.
Okay. All right then. Well, let's bed down for the night and get ready for the. Looking at the map, looks like a pretty arduous trek to Vallaki.
It is. And in the morning, you realize that there is a covered wagon that can easily seat the party of 6. Where there'd be 2 riding in front, 4 in the actual covered portion of the wagon. There's horses there. It seems that this is something that Ismark, in his new post, has made his first order of business is to arm the mercenaries that are helping you.
How many mercenaries do we have?
Well, the entire party. You are the mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, if we're resting, I need a break, so I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Let's take another 5-minute break.
Okay.
I too will be right back on this one.
Yep.
And I will be in and out because of April and kids being back and all of the additional noise. So,
Okay.
as per usual, be cutting in and out. Try and mitigate the additional background noise. Tizzer Pool? Huh. Tizzer Falls. Let's go there. Hold on. Alright, everybody back yet?
Nope, you're the first one back.
Damn them.
Yeah, do you love it? Good for you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Here, come here, get up there. What?
So we got a good long ways to go, it seems.
Stay back. Look at the guys.
Yeah.
You like it? Okay. You like it? You like it? Alright, I'm not gonna keep pushing it up and down, honey.
Huh. Netflix new original, Castlevania. It's an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That could be interesting.
I was told it was easily bingeable.
Oh geez, that's dangerous then.
What?
Jay said it was easily bingeable.
Here, lay back.
Oh man.
What does it? I mean, you can't beat for $1.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Is anyone else?
I'm here.
I'm here.
It's just you
I'm
and me.
here. Yeah, we're just waiting for your dad, I believe.
Oh.
Those are for Dane to play with, Freya.
This is why I'm gonna be muting my mic a lot.
Let Dane play with
Okay.
them.
It's really not that loud. Do you have any music going at all, Jay?
No, I still haven't found a way to get it put in line.
Hmm.
So
I was just curious because the last two streams we've done, I've been able to hear music coming from Mike's end that I couldn't hear on mine.
Yep.
Like the battle music you had last session, I couldn't hear that, but I could hear it when I listened to the playback.
I don't know if I played battle music last week.
Maybe Mike did. I don't know. I heard something.
I do. I play it as filler.
Mm-hmm.
Just very, very quietly. Because that's the cool thing about the stream is, as long as something's playing on my desktop, it can get added in.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I haven't been playing any music. I've been enjoying the solitude of my house till now.
That Shrieking Shack was pretty underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like that was giving you, like, everything was pointing. It's like, yeah, if you go straight to the end, you get all this stuff. And it's, yeah, it was, if I was a player in this, I would sit there, it's like, if everything is trying to point me this way, and knowing it, like this guy runs the entire plane of existence, it's a red herring, and we're going to get into a situation we probably shouldn't be in. Especially if you're going to the place where one would believe would be the final boss fight, is like in the way that the game's intended at level 3. You're going to get royally messed up.
Right. And from what I understand, it's a fairly long module, so to go right to that seems
silly.
Yeah.
In the terms of story, yes, it seems silly. If I didn't buff anything, you guys still would get your ass kicked at this moment.
Wow.
Once again, speaking out of game for a minute.
Yeah.
Dan, you back yet?
Nope.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Marla. All right, this episode is brought to you by the good folks at Corey's new job. Thanks for helping Corey pay the bill so he can still have an internet connection.
Oh, so Jay, while we have a second here, is Vallaki, am I seeing this right? Because I can't zoom in on this map. Is Vallaki just south of Lake Zarovich?
Yes.
Okay.
So essentially, if you follow the main road, you'll have essentially 2 forks. The first one, if you go to the right, goes to Castle Ravenloft. If you go to the left, continues on the road. The second fork is if you go to the left, you go to a windmill. And if you go to the right, they'll eventually continue on towards Vallaki.
Okay. Is O the windmill?
O is the windmill.
O is the windmill.
Oh.
Is N Vallaki? I can't see if that's an N or not.
Yes, N is Vallaki.
Oh, that's an N?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently. It's a very old-timey script.
And it's small.
Yes. What is that one that's like kind of all off by itself on the western part of the map? Is that an R?
Y? Or where?
Maybe.
Yeah, Y in the like southwest or northwest.
Yeah, like just north of the river there.
Oh, just north of the river. That is Krazik. That's an S.
Oh.
And that is a settlement that is known for.
There's 2 rivers.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was talking about the southern river, the Luna River.
Okay, that is Y. That is Yester Hill.
Yester Hill.
Mm-hmm. According to the map.
Huh. And then you said S was Krezik? Krezik?
Krashik.
Krashik, another village?
Mm-hmm. There isn't really much in terms of settlements. It appears to be more of where an abbey is. Seems to be more of a religious site than a settlement, I should say.
Okay. Anything of interest at, what is that, W?
At W. Let me get my big old map. W. The Wizard of Wines at W. Let me find out where that is on the map. Where do you see it at?
It's just north of Y. It's in a clearing between the two rivers.
Yeah, that's best you can tell is on the map is an agricultural site.
And like, as we are moving around and things like are we going to learn about these sites, or is this like if we decide like as a party like, hey, we want to take this fork in the road, like, is that how we find these things, or does the game kind of lead us there in any way?
Based off of the variable nature of this game, there are certain things that you will hit every time. The village of Barovia being one of them. Castle Ravenlock, 9 times out of 10, will be one of them. The rest of them kind of are interchangeable. You will to some places, you will not go to all places on a playthrough, and it's the way that the game builds in this sort of replayability story. So that if you decide like, hey, we're going to go be characters 200 years in the future, and guess what? We didn't really kill Strahd, and he came back, and now our new adventurers get to go have a go at him. You would be able to do that.
I gotcha.
And then so it's you won't go to everything. I should say, due to the fact that they want you to have things that are undiscovered. Yep.
Is there anything cool with the windmill, or is it just a windmill?
Oh, it's almost like you have to investigate to find out. Considering that I'm giving you vague notes for everything, like what you can glean from a map.
Right, yeah, exactly. Is there anything at G, or like would stop? I wonder if like stopping anywhere really on our trek to Vallaki would be in poor taste.
G, that's
that little like jog off of the main road that goes past
encampments. I would imagine by an encampment that means there's people there, and if there's people, there's things to talk to. Let me double check.
And it would probably shave some time off. Mike and Scott, are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Because then we wouldn't have to take that winding route all the way through the woods just to get to where that little path dumps out.
Yeah, I'm good with taking the shorter path.
Why is it dotted though? What is
Shortcuts.
That's
It's dangerous.
That is not a proper road, it's a trail.
I love those.
Oh my god, why can I not find the fucking falls?
So, Dad, you're back?
Oh.
Come on. Page 36. Yeah, okay. Yeah, at Seer Pool and the encampment. There's a lot of things I wish I can say, but I probably couldn't.
Okay, so what all is accompanying us on this journey? Obviously, Irina is. Do we have a wagon and horses?
You have a covered wagon with 2 horses. There's enough seats for everybody to sit down on there in some way or fashion. One person may have to physically ride the horse. Then there's, provisions. There's tools in case the wagon breaks down. Kind of standard Oregon Trail stuff.
Okay, but it's just the 4 of us.
Yeah, just the only thing you're missing is a shotgun and bandits.
All right. Let's fjord the river.
Dysentery.
Oh, no, you may still get that.
Let's caulk the wagon and fjord the river.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Now I have to figure out exactly how far a wagon can send you guys per day. By the way, I just found a spell in the game called glibness, otherwise known as Toni Povar disease. Mounts and vehicles.
I think it'd be hilarious to find like a +3 dagger, but it has to have like a keyword to activate it. So I have to whisper to it, "Oh boy, here I go killing again."
Freya, you're about to go get time out.
Call it the dagger of Crombopulus.
Alright, so the best I can look here is if it can move 40 feet every 6 seconds, that would be over a minute.
400 feet.
Yeah. Alright, so based off of your estimation here is that it'll take you a full day in order to get to, you're looking for landmarks so that you at least aren't completely out in the wilderness. It'll take you a day in order to get to the Seer Falls, like that little bridge where H is.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the second day, if you really kind of hoof it, you'll be able to get to Vallaki. It'll be a little bit of a forced march.
Okay. But we could also potentially stop at the windmill if we needed to.
It seems like. Yeah.
All right.
Now here comes the fun part: is I get to roll for random encounter.
Ooh.
Jay's least favorite mechanic in Dungeons and Dragons.
I hate it so fucking much. All right. What does that fucking mean for you guys? It's almost like I think that rolling for random encounters is bullshit. Motherfucker, you're shitting me. Okay then. I get to draw a map, guys.
Yay.
I'll bring you over to the new page once I finish drawing it up.
Sounds good.
As you get out there, the first 3-4 hours, enough to get you towards. You get past the bridge, you go around.
While you're doing that, Jay, Leovan, Toni, and Hagrid, are you guys okay with going through that shortcut and through that encampment? Or would you rather take the long route?
I'm all shortcuts.
I'm okay with going through the encampment.
You did, you went bye-bye?
Yeah, that's fine.
He got you some dice. Can you show mommy? Go get him. I got it for him.
I accidentally hit the volume thing on my headset. Did you guys answer?
Get him so you can see how pretty they are.
Hello?
So we're fine. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all said we're good with it.
All right. Cool. I as soon as I asked the question, I leaned to the side, and the volume control on my headset hit the couch cushion and it turned all the way down.
Sure.
You know that. You know what that is, huh? Thumbs up. They got that the other day.
I'm going to let you know that this battle has been brought to you by Squiggle Vision.
Squiggle Vision.
Hmm? Hey, as long as I have Aces out before we start, you know, Ace out before we start venturing off and just have them fly around and keep an eye out for us, I'll be okay with that.
Can your construct fly indefinitely?
There's, from my understanding, no limitation on it.
Thank you. Good job. Hold on.
Cool to have it like sort of scout for the wagon.
In a few minutes. Hold on.
That's my plan.
Oh, goodness. My grandma.
Okay, so that's where the enemies are. Come on, move. Fucking do things. Now to bring you guys your sprites over.
Look at my grandma's head.
So I will need
Yep.
Toni. I will need Leia.
Mm-hmm.
I will need Lucien. And I will need Senor Goliath.
Hagrid doesn't get a name. He's just Senior Goliath.
Okay, now to bring you guys forward onto this new page showing my wonderful artistic designs.
Say artistic or autistic?
Why not both?
The heck is that thing?
These are guys who want to kill you.
They look like gargoyles.
It's almost like they are gargoyles. We're going to start off with everybody rolling initiative.
Okay.
Fucking battle with no fucking story. It's great. Fucking hell.
Jesus. I suck at initiative. Fucking
And these guys fucking rocked at it.
11.
23.
Where's my bird? Bird.
There's the word.
Hold on a sec.
Bird is the word.
I need to get a new page here.
I got a 12.
Alright, hold on a second, guys. I gotta pull up their stats real quick.
What's your bird roll, Mike?
I don't know. I don't have a bird on here yet.
Okay, you can still roll initiative for it.
Okay.
In a minute. Finish your mouth.
Your dex plus 0. So,
Doesn't get a modifier that I know of, so
alright, anybody get 25 to 20?
23.
Okay. Alright, 19 to 15. Nobody? Alright, 14 to 10.
10.
11.
12.
Alright, so as this comes down, you see some pretty angry looking things. You use your innate range sense to say, hey, these things probably don't know too much and just want to. And, yeah. Random encounter. Shit, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna hunter's mark this dude.
Okay.
Why can't I do it? Oh, my bad.
So
That dude.
Yep.
Okay.
You're going to do this to prove that you've marked him.
Okay. And I'm gonna run up and stab him.
Okay. So go to attack.
17.
17 hits. Roll damage.
I gotta find my stupid thing. 11 plus.
Plus your hunter's mark.
Can I find that? 3 more.
Okay. Nice. Glad to see you finally remember to use your hunter's mark. Yeah, so that brings us to the gargoyles after a very great little actually that was supposed to be resistance, so that would be, you said that was 13 damage total or 14 damage total?
13 total.
Alright, so that does 40. Okay. Yeah, so it being a stone thing, apparently cutting it didn't really work the way that you thought it would. You made a significant nick on it, but unfortunately it's not the best idea, but your magical attack did do full damage. Alright, that leads the gargoyles up next. We're going to move before we do attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Speed is... This one's getting up, spending its entire movement action to fly, jumps up in the air. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but can't act. This guy's doing the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, okay. This guy is going to make... How many attacks do you get? He's going to make 2 swipes at you, Leovan. First one is going to be an 8, which will miss. The second one is going to be a 7, which will miss even harder. Brings us up to Mike.
Where's my birdie at?
Considering that you only had enough space for people there in your bag of holding, so you'd have to get it out.
Well, I was saying that we were going to have him out and scoping while we were flying in, or while we were going down the path.
Alright, then allow me to change that then.
Yeah, Corey
we'll
and I discussed. I think you were busy doodling.
Yeah.
Doodling.
For the time being, this will signify your creature.
Okay.
Let me give you control of it, and then we'll find a more appropriate token eventually.
It's fairly appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to delay till my bird's turn.
When does your bird go? What was
He
its
rolled a
initial?
6.
A 6, okay. Alright, so if you delay, that means you only get an action, you can't move at all.
That's okay,
so
I'm going to use Mr. Bird to move me.
Alright, that brings us to Corey.
Okay. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, I'm gonna use my dash so that I can move around to here. So I can flank this gargoyle with Hagrid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll with advantage. Yeah.
So, dash is your bonus action, or?
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Okay. Yep.
And I was gonna attack it with my let's do my flame tongue dagger.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 18 plus 8, so 26.
Hits.
And then that is 2d4, and then sneak attack damage, or opportunist's strike, I should say,
Thank you.
which is 3d6.
Also, Scott, what sword was your character using? Hey, Scott. All right, move on, Corey. I'll get back to him.
Sorry, I guess I was muted.
Yep.
It was a
sword?
rapier.
The regular rapier?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I got
Okay,
it.
so that's 9 damage from the dagger and 11 damage from the opportunist strike.
So the enchanted nature of the dagger actually allows it to rip through the stone in kind of a surprising way.
Okay.
It actually does its regular damage. And then how much damage did you say for the sneak attack?
11.
11, okay. So that brings us to... I did not do the math right. There we go. Now it's right. All right. Cool. That brings us to anything else that you want to do?
I guess I could move. I'll move over here so I can kind of get out of dodge a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dan, you're up.
All right. The gargoyles that's right in front of me. I'm going to use the cantrip Sacred Flame on him,
Okay.
and it's 2d8 because I'm higher than 5th level. Radiant damage.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just make sure that I have. If you have to roll to attack, or it automatically hits.
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes. What is your spell DC, Dan?
16.
16. Okay. Dexterity saving throw will take 2d8 damage, and it has to do the thing that it does. And if I didn't roll it off the table, there we go. It fails. So go ahead and do your 2d8.
Total of 9.
9. Okay. This gargoyle is starting to look whatever the stone equivalent of bloodied is. And that will bring us up to bird culture.
Alright, I want the bird to fly and grab me and throw me somewhere.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a athletics check as your bird to see if it can pick you up.
What does that fall under? Strength?
It's athletics, yeah. So strength.
Alright, he has a +3 to strength. 12.
Yeah, it picks you up, no problem.
Okay. So I want, since I can go 80 with flight, I'm gonna go right 0 with me and the bird.
All right, so you and the bird.
Right there. Right there.
Okay.
And bird can come over here too. Stick bird there. Alright. Bird's gonna chill out. And I'm gonna shoot at that gargoyle using Thundermonger.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
See here, that is... Ooh. Not a good number. 9.
You shoot right in between its feet.
Woohoo! I can shoot its feet. Alright.
Yep.
And that will end my turn.
All right, that brings us back to the top. Scott.
All right. Stab my mark again.
Okay, so yeah, your mark holds. You don't need to spend the bonus action to do that.
I said I'm gonna stab him.
Oh,
The guy
okay.
I marked.
I
Sorry.
totally misheard. Roll to attack.
That is okay. I always forget. So 16.
16 hits.
That's a 12 plus 2, 14.
All right, so the 2 damage goes in full. The other is reduced to half. So that will bring us at 35. All right. Anything else?
He's not dead?
He is nowhere close to dead.
Perfect.
It's almost like you looked around and see that the enchanted and magical things did a hell of a lot better than your stupid mundane sword.
Hey, I don't get bonus damage with the longsword.
Yeah, we'll talk about resistances in a little bit. But that's to the gargoyles. This is going to move towards you.
Whoa, I get another attack.
Oh, you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
That's 16 again.
16 hits.
Another 12 plus 4.
Hold up. Let me make sure that we got Hunter's Mark absolutely right, because I don't know if it happens once or every hit. And that's just something I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
know.
help look.
I just assumed it was every time.
Whenever you hit it with a weapon attack, so yeah, it's full damage or you get to use the Hunter's Mark again. So,
Okay.
What was the distribution?
12 plus 4.
12 plus 4. So the 4 gets hit no matter what, and then that is reduced to 6. All right. Now he's beginning to look a little worse for wear. Also, your sword is not looking so great, too. Apparently, slashing through stone is not the best idea. Now
Not a lot of options, Jay.
Yeah. Now the gargoyles are going to go. This one first is going to make 2 attacks at Lucien. First one is a 17 to hit.
That meets.
Second one is a 21 to hit.
Yep.
The first claw attack will do 3
Plays
damage.
uncanny dodge.
Yeah, so that's 3 reduced to 1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is 7 damage.
Okay.
Yep. Then there will be 4 attacks going after Senior Goliath. First one's a 14, so that'll miss. Second one's a natural 1. Third is a 23, that'll probably hit. Third is a 17. That's the only one I got a question on. Dan, what's your AC?
Oh.
18 with
18, so only 1 hits then. And that will be 4 damage. God, these fucking random encounters are absolute bullshit. That brings us to Mike.
Alright, I will chill back here, and I will shoot at that one.
Go for it. Regular shot or?
Thundermonger.
Okay.
That would be a 19.
19 hits.
Yay, I get to roll 4d6.
I think that's the first time Mike's hit with an attack since before the last session.
Yeah. Let's see, 5, 6. So that's a total of 12 plus another 3. So 15 plus 4 piercing, 19 damage.
So 15 plus 4 piercing. The piercing seems less than effective, and that gets reduced by half. And then the 14, with it being enchanted base, does regular damage.
It's 2d6 thunder damage for 2 of those.
Yep.
What?
Alright.
That's it.
Yep, that's all I'm gonna do.
Yes, no.
Then we're going into Corey next.
Okay. To clarify, Jay, this is the one that is like bloodied, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage, so that I can move back over here.
Mhm.
2, 3, so that's 4. Okay. And then I'm going to
Not in my house.
attack that gargoyle again with my dagger of flame tongue.
Sweet deal.
I have advantage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Does a 17 hit?
Oh, it does.
Oh, thank God. All right, and then I get Opportunist Strike since he's within 5 feet of it. Since Hagrid is within 5 feet of it. Okay, so that is 13 damage from the dagger
Okay.
and 4 damage from the Opportunist Strike.
So you said 13 from the dagger,
Mm-hmm.
and then 4 from the.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my move to back up.
All right. That brings us to Dan. Next up, this guy right here looks pretty ready to crumble.
Okay. Then I will swing at him with my axe.
Go for it.
And box axe.
What do I get to add with that?
That
So
would
it's your
be-
efficiency and strength.
Yep.
That is a 17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
7.
7, which gets reduced to 3. Okay. Yeah, you're able to get through. It's very, very rare that something isn't immediately felled by Goliath's strength, but it looks like it is a mere thread that this stone is still standing by. You still have the option to attack with your other hand axe.
Which I will do.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack again.
21.
21 hits so hard.
And 7 again.
Yeah, that fells it.
Nice.
This guy right here gets to add a nice little X marker. X marks
the spot.
Yep, of crumbling. Anything else you'd like? I'm sorry, I cut you off there, Dan.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear what you asked.
Oh, I was beginning to ask if there's anything else you'd like to do. Then you started talking. I was like, oh, maybe there is.
No, I thought I already had my 2.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can still move if you so chose, but you probably would incite an attack of opportunity.
Mm.
No, so you can always choose to do nothing.
Right.
Yep, that will bring us to Birdman. Mike, your bird is up. All right, he's going to hold Scott.
Microphone was muted.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have Birdman fly to there,
Okay.
and he is going to use his multi-attack.
All right, go for it.
Stop it, you're not holding it.
That is a... Would I add the attack modifier to a multi-attack?
Yes, every time. The only thing that you won't add on a multi-attack is your proficiency after the first strike.
Okay, because his attacks get +5, but it doesn't say that for multi-attack. So what does that mean?
So honestly, just do +5 every time. It makes it easier.
Okay, then it's a total of 20.
For the first strike?
Yep, for the first strike is a 20. The second one is a 22.
Both hit.
Alright. So,
No matter what, how we added it, it was going to hit anyway. But as a house rule, yeah. Let's keep it simple
I
right
get
now.
to roll a total of 3d6 plus 6. So 5, 6, 7, 10, 16 damage.
16 damage. And that's the total?
That's the total.
Alright, that gets reduced down to 8. Which will be... Alright. Anything else for him?
Nope, that should do it.
Alright, back to the top. Scott.
Alright, I'm gonna switch to my flaming longsword,
Okay, there we go.
because apparently that's a better idea. and then take a swing at that guy again.
Okay, go for it.
17.
17 hits, so roll damage will be a D8 plus a D4 fire damage plus 1.
Okay.
What?
It's a 4. 4 plus a 1 for the fire.
Okay, so that's 5 plus 1 because it's a plus 1 sword, so that's 6. And then what is your normal melee bonus?
My normal melee bonus?
Yeah, so it'd be your strength bonus in this case, since it's a longsword.
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. The good news is it does full damage because it's an enchanted sword. And there's your first strike. As your bonus, it would be switching out, so you can still move. Oh, did you do your hunter's mark?
Oh, no, I didn't. Let's add that then.
Dice on dice on dice.
5.
Perfect.
I just used 4 different dice on that turn.
Yeah. There we go. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'm good there.
All right, Gargoyle's going up. They're going to. This one here is going to come down on the Goliath. First, we're going to do 2 attacks towards Leovan. The first one is going to be a 15.
I'm a 16.
Okay, so misses. Second one is a 16. That will do 5 damage, slashing.
Okay.
There'll be 4 attacks going at the Goliath, and due to flanking, they'll get advantage. First one misses. Second one hits with a compiled 20. Third one, no matter what, misses. Fourth one hits at a 19, so it'll be 2 damage. Yeah, 2 attacks. First one does 3 damage. Second one does 4 damage. So compiled 7 damage for you, Dan.
Got it.
And then that will bring us to Mike.
Alrighty. I get to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully that works.
Yeah, your line of sight should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to shoot at that asshole with Thundermonger.
Do it. Do it if you're cool.
I got a 2 plus my 5, so a 7 total.
You chipped the wheel a little bit.
Woohoo!
Don't woohoo, that's our fucking wagon.
I can fix it. Alright, I'm done.
All right. That brings us up to Corey.
Alright, so I'm going to move over here behind this one.
Mm-hmm.
To flank it with Hagrid. I'm going to attack it with my Dagger of Flame Tongue.
Okay.
And do a 24 hit.
Oh, it so does.
Alright, so Opportunist Strike and my dagger damage. So the dagger is 10 damage.
Okay.
And 7 from the Opportunist Strike.
Okay, that will do. Now I have to do math. There we go.
And then I'd like to use my bonus action to attack with my Dagger of Venom.
Okay.
Do I still have advantage on the attack?
I would say you have advantage, but no sneak attack.
Fine. Oh boy, that was rough. And I don't get to add my dex to that, so that's a 7.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that does not hit.
Alright, so having missed that, I'm going to back up the rest of my movement and be done.
Okay. Yeah, as your poison dagger comes across, it just scrapes. There's a nice little white line, but doesn't do anything of value. That brings us to the Goliath. Dan, you're up.
I have a question for Toni. That heavy crossbow I got from you, did it have any enchantments?
It had a enchantment on it that I can answer for you called Hail of Thorns. that you got to use once per day. And let me get the spell out for you so that you know exactly what it does. Hail of Thorns is the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack before the spell ends. It creates
I
a
don't
rain
know
of
why.
that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the targeted attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 1d10 piercing damage on a failed save, in addition to the regular damage, and half as much on a successful save. So, if you shot at everything within 5 feet of the intended target, will make a saving throw. And no matter what, you'll get to do extra damage to anything in that radius.
Does it also include party members?
Yes, it is any valid target.
So
I
if
mean,
he shot the one in front of him, would he have to make the save?
Yes.
And then if he shot this one, him and
No,
Ace
I
would have
don't.
to make the save.
Yeah, him, Birdman, and the target make the save.
Okay.
He also would have to roll at disadvantage as well for trying to use a ranged weapon within 5 feet of a target.
That was my next question. Is I don't know if it's worth the extra chance. So I'm just gonna use my axe again.
Okay. As far as the one right here looks worse for wear. I'm sorry, my mouse was on it. That one looks worse for wear, but they both look damaged.
All right, I am going to.
Also, something that I should just make sure you're aware of. Out of all of your attacks, the one that you probably noticed had the most effect on it was your Sacred Flame.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I am going
Could,
to. I'm going to use Guiding Bolt again,
Okay.
and I'm going to. Think I need to turn around if I mean it doesn't on the table, but he was the one above me is the one that was flanking me.
They both would be flanking you since they're on either side of you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So doesn't really matter then.
No, it doesn't.
All right. So on between me and Mike's bird.
Mm-hmm. That one is range attack against the target, so it'll be D20 plus your spell attack modifier, which is on the top of your third page.
Okay, one more time.
One more time for the roll, or one more time on what to add?
No, what I still have to roll for the hit, right?
Yes, so it'll be, like always, D20, and then the modifier that you add is going to be on the top of your third page. It'll be like a
Okay, the
big
spell
full
attack
plus
bonus.
number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spell attack bonus.
Oh, 26.
That hits so hard. I'm guessing you're casting it at the first level?
No, I'm going to cast it as a second level spell.
All right, then that's 5d6 damage.
Really quick, Dad. Also to Jay, was that a 20 that you rolled?
Yes.
Is there criticals for spells?
There isn't anything that I've read that specifically says that there is or isn't, but I like the idea of it being a critical hit. So it will be, for spells, let's go 5d6 and then double the damage.
Sure.
Your deity smiles upon you today, Dan.
17 was the roll.
Okay, 17, so that's up to 34. And you attacked the one behind you and completely overwhelm it. So as you put your hand axe in the air, it's a giant charge of holy energy just comes through, and you slice through the stone as if it were organic, unsalted butter. Yeah, it's almost like a comical. You slash through, the statue holds, and then begin to slide off. And it's a absolute clean cleave through this guy right here. And come on, 2 things. There we go.
Wasn't it? Didn't they do that in the first Resident Evil movie? Didn't somebody get caught in like the dream hallway or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very common trope, yes, and I remember exactly what you're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But that will bring us to Birdman.
I don't get a bonus.
Oh, you still do. I'm sorry. I am keeping very poor track of what's going on. What would you like for your bonus action?
I am going to slash at the other one with my hand axe.
Yeah, since you cast a 2nd level spell off. Yep, go for it.
12, 15. That's an 18.
18 hits.
And 6 slashing.
6 slashing gets reduced to 3. All right. Sorry for forgetting about your bonus action. Now it's Birdman's turn.
Remember, you're muted, Mike.
What's up?
Your
Birdman's turn.
Alright. Birdman will fly there and do multi-attack again.
All right. Go for it.
What are the odds of that? Both of them are 13s.
13 compiled or 13 natural?
13 compiled.
Both unfortunately miss.
Alright, I figured as much.
Mm-hmm. All right. That will bring us back to the top. Let's go, Leovan.
Let's see if I can finally take this thing down. That's a 20.
Natural 20?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it still hits though.
With 6 plus 4, and then 2 for the hunter's mark.
6 plus 4 plus 2 is 12 automatically, plus 1 because it's a plus 1 sword.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Describe your kill.
I'm terrible at this. I don't know. I don't have it.
Just out of pure frustration, realizing that your pokey weapon wasn't working too well, you grab out the flaming longsword. Like initially, you sat there, it's like, oh, the blade itself is on fire when I hold it. That's cool. I think it's slashed through anyway. It started off as just one initial slash, but then it becomes another. The creature was destroyed long ago, but you're just taking out all of your rage on this this crumble of rocks now.
I like it.
Yep. Then we're going to go next in line.
I'm gonna.
Oh
so
yeah.
I still have another action, so I'm gonna move my hunter's mark then.
Perfect.
To this guy who's way out there.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that one existed.
Yep.
Yep.
Does he exist?
Yeah, he's the last living one.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so it's actually his turn now, and he's going to see no reason why he needs to change his target going after the strongest guy available, but he rolls a 5 and misses. He rolls a 4 and misses. These guys you guys are lucky that I'm rolling so shitty today. Yep, that brings us up to Mike.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And shooting at the last remaining one with Thundermonger.
Do it.
Is this one out like near the top corner of the map's a thing, or is he forgotten about?
No, he was a typo.
Oh, okay.
All right, rolling. 17.
17 hits.
All right, and now I need 4d6. Let's see here. 7 for the first shot, and 8 for the second. So the first shot is 11. So 19 damage.
19 damage. Okay. You blew off one of the wings of this gargoyle. It is now a one-winged beast. Its balance definitely looks like it's taking a toll. But it's still swiping. That brings us up to Corey.
All right, I'm gonna step forward and rejoin flanking Hagrid, or flanking with Hagrid, I should say, on this gargoyle, and stab with my dagger of Flang Tongue, which is a 19 to hit.
Hits.
And drop the dice. All right, so that is 8 from the dagger.
Okay.
And 5 from the opportunist strike.
That is exactly what you needed to take him down. Describe the kill.
So I stabbed the dagger into the gargoyle, having especially seen how Hagrid was able to sort of melt it with the divine energy. So I stick my my dagger in there, kind of like in the Phantom Menace when the Jedi stuck his lightsaber in the door to melt the lock. So I just leave the dagger in there as the molten rock kind of spreads out from the dagger, and eventually the gargoyle falls apart.
Yep. All right. So as this happens, the wheel itself has a nice little part of a round in it. You guys get back in, trying to see diagnostics. The wagon itself works just fine. It's just every once in a while, if you hit a rock the right way, there's a little lurch that happens. You eventually get to the Seer Pool encampment, and that's where we're going to stop today, is right outside the Seer Pool encampment. There is a lot of important information that you can glean from that area. I want to make sure I have it all down before I share it with you, because it will directly impact the amount of enjoyment you'll get from the game.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, today you have successfully navigated your way out of Barovia, understanding a little bit more about who you're up against and exactly what they think about you guys, where they will just sit there, talk to you, and realize that we're trying to figure out, size you up, and realizing that they ultimately have the upper hand.
Did he see what we did to those gargoyles, though?
Yep.
And
They
okay.
probably did.
what about the experience question?
We're going to do milestone experience. So we're not going to worry about numbers so much. I'm just going to tell you guys when you level up.
Okay.
Yep.
Works for me.
Yep. So you guys, in terms of, probably got somewhere between a third and a half a level based off of concluding some stuff in Barovia.
Mm-hmm. I have a question about like when we do level up via milestone, because obviously we've been doing it via experience up to this point.
We're just gonna, the way that'll be easiest is when we go back to just point systems.
Mhm.
Remember exactly what percentage of a level you were at, and
Okay.
you'll just gain the experience until you get to that next percentage of a level.
Oh, okay. So basically, like I'm a certain percentage through level 6 right now. So when I hit level 7, I'll be that same percentage through level 7 as far as experience points totals go.
Yeah, just to keep everything the way that we've had it. That's how.
Okay.
That makes the most sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep. So, yeah. So if you guys have any other questions, I'll be on the PlayStation Network, where you can contact me by phone.
Okay.
But yeah, I just want to make sure that my prep is pretty good, because I immediately thought that you guys were going to go straight to Vallaki instead of the Seer Pool encampment. So I prepped that instead of.
Gotcha.
It's
yeah.
all good.
No, I mean,
Sorry. I love taking the DM by surprise.
Yep.
yeah. This is what it should do. This means that I'm not railroading you because you're doing something I didn't expect.
You can't railroad us even if you wanted to.
You'd be surprised.
Nope, I can sit in one spot and not move.
Oh, great. So the armies of the undead know exactly where you are.
No, I'm gonna dig a gnome hole, and it's gonna be all throughout the ground in secret gnome-sized tunnels.
Remember,
are
Mike, you
you
have an intelligence of 17 and a wisdom of 16.
looking like somebody who doesn't understand the difference between a gnome and a gopher?
Apparently I need to go get batteries or something, so I gotta get off.
All right.
All right, later, Mike.
Take it easy, gents. We shall communicate later.
Yeah, as always, thanks for making the time available, Scott. Understand that we got you in just under the wire. I'm glad it worked out.
Yes.
Yeah, very glad.
Yeah, hope that you did enjoy your time in Nebraska.
I went to Iowa, not Nebraska.
Oh, my bad.
Well, screw Iowa.